Continuing from the previous session, where we covered the emergence of a need of developing decentralized governance models given the growing popularity, adoption, and adaptation of emerging technologies, especially blockchain. Decentralization is not an end in itself, but should be part of a broader strategy of territorial development. Decentralization outcomes depend very much on the way the process is designed and implemented, on adequate subnational capacity, and on the quality of multi-level governance, including efficient coordination mechanisms across level of governments. Overall, it should be remembered that decentralization reforms tend to take time and the assignment of responsibilities need to be periodically reviewed. Let us start with 10 guidelines on selected key issues of decentralization to aid the policymakers to implement decentralization reforms, as decentralization outcome depends very much on the way the process is designed and implemented. Please note that this is not the exhaustive list. It is an evolving subject and things may look very different couple of years down the line, but this can serve as a good starting point. Also, these guidelines are full subject in themselves and can be further expanded in great details. For the purpose of this course, it is enough for us to understand these guidelines at high level and that the same can be used as a starting point or a template. Guideline 1. Clarify the responsibilities assigned to different government levels. There has to be a separation of decision making among various levels of planning, policy, finance, and provision for each function. Guideline 2. Ensure that all responsibilities are sufficiently funded. Third, strengthen subnational fiscal autonomy to enhance accountability. Fourth, support subnational capacity building. The fifth, build adequate coordination mechanisms among level of government. Is higher level government actively engaged in the coordination institutions? Guideline 6. Support cross-jurisdictional cooperation. Guideline 7. Strengthen innovative and experimental governance and promote citizen engagement. Guideline 8. Allow for and make the most of asymmetric decentralization arrangements. 9th. Consistently improve transparency, enhance data collection, and strengthen performance monitoring. And Guideline 10. Strengthen national and regional development policies and equalization systems. One last thing I would like to share with you all on the changes in the governance models is comparison of current model with the one that might evolve in the near future. The current model might look like this, where hierarchical command and control policy making is via the state. Within this model, the state is sovereign and legitimate in commanding and controlling societal actors, both public and private. The identity of actors is perceived as the relevant aspect of power. Power relationships are vertical because they base themselves on the identity of the state as sovereign and legitimate. The new governance model that might evolve will have horizontal policy making, in which societal actors have greater independence in commanding their spheres of influence and making and implementing policies. Coinciding with this, the state takes on a role of steering rather than rowing. The state regulates societal actors by incorporating them into the policy-making process. The role they can play, therefore, becomes the relevant aspect of power, and the power relationships become the relevant focus of the governance. Oversight is performed by non-majoritarian institutions such as central banks that guard the boundaries set by the state. This discussion will not be complete without taking a peek at how blockchain technology can have a larger impact on the society when it comes to governance. To date, a comprehensive discussion of possible blockchain political models does not yet exist at academic level. Following is an attempt to trigger the thought process and see the art of possibility. The fundamentals hold true both on technology as well as application side in our daily lives. The main principles of blockchain-based governance could be summarized as follows. Centralized organizations and the problem of scale. Scaling and speed of response becomes a critical issue with centralized governance. Single point of failure.